What's up, bro? Appreciate you for coming down today. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Can you start off letting people know what your name is and what your business is?
Man, my name is Deondra Swanigan. Most people just call me Swan. My business name is Swan Done. I guess you can say my tagline is just deeper than design, right? So that's just a little bit there, man. Yeah.
Deeper than design. We got to jump into that first.
Let's do it. Let's go.
We got to jump. Okay, so explain that to me and how that came about. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, wait, hold up. He already done started off with something easy to talk about.
Deeper than design, man. I think it's just that.
Okay.
A lot of people, you know, when you think design is surface level, but all these gears and all this thing these things has to happen in the background for that design to have meaning, have purpose, right? So, anyways, that's just why it's that. So I'm in the art. I'll give a little story there, right? Yeah. So we'll just say art and design is different, right? So art is more subjective and design is more objective, right? If that makes sense for you. So, man, coming from the art background, I would say from the third grade, as I can remember, say that's probably like 20 years ago about. So I've been in the art game for a minute, you know, third grade. Like I could for real draw, like drawing vehicles, my little motorcycle toys, all that little jazz, right? So anyways, as I kind of grew into, I guess this side of this design side, it was like, well, this thing isn't art. I can't do the same thing that I'm doing over here. Okay, yes, it helps me be a little more creative, you know what I'm saying? But it's more of a purpose. Like, okay, hey, who's my target audience? How do I want them to feel, you know what I'm saying, on that deep level? You know what I'm saying? What are we trying to accomplish here? So that's why the little tagline is deeper than design. Okay.
So if you're looking at one of your premier designers, graphic designers or artists that you really looked up to, and it could be, let's say like it could be a piece of work you can even have in your mind right now. You may not even know the person's name, but let's say that person who created that piece of art, that piece of that graphic that you see that you love, if they came up to you in a bar and they said, what does this design mean to you? What would you say?
Dang, that's good, man. That's a good one. Man, it's either Chris Doe. He teaches a whole lot when it comes to graphics. But I think I'm going to go with my boy James. He's like from the UK or something like that. His name Made by James on Instagram. Let me see, which design? I can't think of any.
No, I said, like, what would you, if they ask you,
okay,
what does design mean to you?
What, design in general?
What does it mean to you?
Wow.
What would you say?
Okay, I
said the artist someone who's created your favorite piece of art to put a little bit of heat behind it. Cause like, you know, you're like, oh man.
I gotta come with it and let them know.
I need to get it. I gotta think about it.
Dang. Well, you know, I would almost use their words against them in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Doe would say something like, and then he would use his all of his mentors' words on, it's not what people say about, it's not what you say about the design, it's what people say about it. Or something like that, right? So it's like, okay, how are people viewing that? A great design is gonna move people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
So, and whatever goal we have in place to move them, as long as it works in that function.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what's going to determine that. That it's great. And I don't know, does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess a follow up to that, how do you think that design and creativity partner together? Or do you think they're one and the same?
Oh no, they're definitely like a partnership, man.
Okay.
So like I said, maybe so if a client comes to me and I'm doing my thing, okay, yeah. I can probably use mine for an example, Swan Done, okay? And was really more of a play on the colors. Of course, a swan, it can and cannot, that's, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be that icon that's in there, but it's like, okay, we're gonna go with maybe some colors. I like to do this book called How to Style Your Brand or something like that. So I get a lot of mine based on seasons. Me, what do you call it? I relate more to this fall type season.
Okay.
Ironically, I'm born, you know, my birthday is October the 15th.
Okay.
And there's people that has these personalities and these certain traits. So when you're looking at that with that design, say the orange may bring this warm but energetic type feel that I'll bring, or that same language. When you see that, when somebody see that relates to me, it's gonna bring off that same thing.
Yeah.
And that's just a pull just off of color.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Then you got shapes and stuff that also play a part of it. So like all of those with the meanings and stuff, now you can take that though. Okay, yeah, I could just draw this circle here and put this color here and do all that you're saying. But then, like you said, okay, how do they play a part? Well, now that's where the creativity comes in, and now I can manipulate and make things look differently. Now I got, you know what I'm saying, those 5 to 6 thumbnails to start off with, to then that's where we get those options. Like,
yeah, okay,
hey, out of these 3, what are you more drawn to? All 3 of them could work based on the function.
Yes.
But hey, what are you more drawn to? Okay. So I think now we dive in a little deeper to what they're attracted to. That's also going to be able to attract their target audience.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to start off a little bit super general, and then we'll like really funnel in on exactly what you do.
Okay.
But one of the things I'm thinking about already is like creativity creativity having its own elements, right? So you just described a bunch of elements.
Yeah.
And a lot of different people can identify the elements, right? So you said, ooh, that color, man, that's like a fall color. You know, and that fall color, it makes you feel this way when you see it typically or normally, you know, or this color makes this person feel this way. Oh, man, you know, this person brought this brand to me and it made me feel like this, which makes me think of this color. Those are all elements in your tool bag for creativity. Yeah. But then you take those elements or those ingredients like you cooking, you put them in the pot, and now you're actually creating.
Right.
That's the design element. You know, you're designing with a purpose now, which is also kind of cool to think about too, because you literally are like, this color identifies with this person and what they said and what they're about. Now I'm gonna, like, how much more, you know, personalized can you be on that? Yeah, no, that's so cool.
You. No, and I think I left a little part out, man, real quick. So like, say if fall people, yeah, we talked about color, but then you have all of these values that can go in the formula that we can mix and cook together, right? Okay. So I may value, say, family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So family would then push that functionality of the logo or what we're trying to do. It's not even about the logo. It's just the brand in general. The way we come with our photography, the you know what I'm saying, the color, you know, coding of however you want the mood. If we want this to be layered with yellow, more yellow when we put out all of our videos, because that's our color with the meaning. And say yellow maybe speaks more of the family or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And these are just hypotheticals, though. No, 100% as well. Though. Yeah. But besides the orange was a real thing. But you know, orange is energetic and all that stuff. But you got those values that you take too and mix with the elements. Yeah. So the values may be more so attached to the design, whereas the creativity part, it may look like the elements are there, but that's why at its basis, art and design are at its basis, you know, the subjective and objective at its core are what they are. But then we mix them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But you have to know what the bases are, so you won't start doing some other crazy stuff and manipulating something that shouldn't be manipulated, you know what I'm saying?
And I think it's good to like figure out those rules, right? Yeah. Like a lot of people just kind of try to go into Canva, right?
Man,
and then try to throw together a logo, and you're like, man, like I feel like when your logo, I feel so much tension. Yeah. You know, when I'm looking at it, and you're like, oh, I've figured it out, because they didn't follow the design principles to say like your ledger needs to be at least this far away from the actual icon. So like, because it's closer, man, I'm feeling like suffocated when I'm looking at it. So it's just different stuff that you don't understand. how to describe how you feel
Yeah.
until you understand, oh, this color typically means this.
That's it.
If someone's going with more of a lifestyle brand, then maybe we ain't gonna have hard edges on the font. We're gonna have some curves there. We're gonna curve those edges out to make you feel like this is more appealing. You said yellow when you
got the backgrounds. I hear you.
When you started to talk about yellow, when you said family, I immediately thought of yellow.
No,
and then,
see, that's because that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I immediately thought of Walmart logo.
Yeah,
the yellow and blue.
Yellow in there.
Because it's like when you look at that logo, I think affordable. That's the first word I think about. I think affordable. Second word I think about is a family. Yeah, I think affordable and family immediately.
Nice.
So how do you think that Walmart was able to accomplish that? Like, what do you think before they said, okay, we're going to put this new logo, the little circle one with the things going out from it. Before they said, I'm going to put this logo on our business. What do you think the background, like if you were to design that, what would that have looked like for you?
Yeah, so I would have to look at just real quick, like their mission statement and stuff. So based on that, say they were, like you said, and I'm just using if it is targeting families, and it changes over time. And then, so at that point, I don't know how long they've been those colors, but I think really very much to say other than what you said there with, it could have just been with families and affordability. I mean, now they're kind of expensive, but that's a whole different thing. You know, they put their foot in the market and they've done their time. But I don't know. I can't say anything other than what you said with that one. You know, sure. if I had like a history of them, that would be interesting for me to look into that a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like based on the mission statement and where they came from and all of that. So, but I don't know their history all the way enough to be able to speak on that. But
yeah, for sure.
That's a great question, though.
That's good. Okay, sticking with the allergy of cooking because I like kind of using that, and maybe we may go use that for the whole.
That's all right.
But okay, so you're in the kitchen cooking. You got your dish in front of you, and you have the person that you're serving across. You know, they're out there waiting. So if someone comes to you and they're like, "Hey, I want this. This is my mission statement." Blah 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 blah. And again, obviously, you already know all this because you already have the stuff in the pot.
Exactly.
What other tools, what other ingredients do you personally have that you're throwing in there outside of the stuff that you've already said?
Man, like experience, you know, what I've seen, you know, if it's a particular industry, I work with thought leaders, right? Just to engineer, you know, to just be general. But based on experience, people that know a lot about what they know a lot about, right? They're just, sometimes they're a little blinded and they're not open. So it's like, hey, be a little open. Look at, and you know, look at this. So based on experience, hey, okay, we're just here. We can be a little more open. Yeah. So I think experience open up more possibilities. And that's what, okay, you know, more possibilities mean, oh, this finna taste even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
man, you telling me, okay, we're rated at a 3-star restaurant. Now we a 4-star just by making this change or working with Swan Done, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's just one. You know what I mean? If that answers your question,
no, and that
we
makes
could talk different directions.
No, I get it. It makes me think of like when you said that, it made me think of two places that you can go with that, and both are just as good. You said like it's going to taste better, but I would almost say it's going to make either the pot bigger because you realize that you can reach a bigger target audience.
That's good.
Or it made your pot smaller because you realize that, I want to reach more of a targeted audience, more of a specific type of person.
I got something for you, man.
Okay.
No, that's good. You just triggered it, man. So with that being said, Domino's is a great example. But before I move to Domino's, my background with the marketing, you know, strategies and stuff. So I have that too, right? I guess we didn't really list it. Multimedia, I guess, kind of specialist, like business marketing consultant. And then I got a little bit of photography niching in the headshot space. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, bringing over.
And which one of those are your main? But don't forget what you're about to say.
Main, are we saying main as in
like which
income
one of those?
Or main as in what makes something your main? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They work together.
Yeah.
And I'll explain that. Maybe we'll get to that.
Okay.
Keep that one. So anyways, Domino's. This is going to be an example. So Domino's, we know, hey, their audience was the college students. So, you talked about making the pot bigger. Okay, yeah, Domino's are just doing their thing like the rest of all the pizza places. Then they say, hey, we're going to get this to you at a certain amount of time. Was it 30 minutes or it's free for you? If they were an hour away, how are they going to get this, this pizza to them in 30 minutes? Okay, this is college students. So that means, okay, pot bigger or rearrange, where I'm located. Meaning, okay, now I'm going to position myself, right? It's the marketing, the strategy stuff. The marketing is going to help you position yourself differently or where you need to know if you need to move or not. And that's what Domino's did. They said, okay, in order for us to do that, we have to move close to these colleges to be able to guarantee what we're trying to, accomplish here. That function. Boom. You know what I'm saying? That may be their mission statement, boom, or whatever, but then now they have to position themselves to do it. And I think taking some of these strategies and mixing them in a pot, already knowing these strategies and thinking of it beforehand kind of helps with the pot. Yeah. Because most people, they only think about maybe a small percentage of these strategies. They don't think about a drip campaign or, how we're going to position ourselves in photos or the video or do I need to be posting more video versus the graphics? Like what performs better? We know video, we'll just round it, it's like 38%, but we'll say 40%. It performs better than your regular graphics. Yes. But most people used to just come to me just for a whole lot of graphics. I'm like, hey, give me some kind of video so we can do something with the social media. I can give it to my social media girl and she's going to do her thing. We're going to be able to, all of that. And that's just part of it. The MDP, the marketing dominating position, the upsell, cross sell, all that different jazz comes in. And it's like, hey, what are we even offering here? So even thinking about that, okay, yeah, you're great at something. Like I said, I work with thought leaders, but how have you thought about it like this? What other offers could you even be making to then position yourself bigger, to make the pot even bigger? Yes, but I mean, yeah, we talking money and stuff too, but then it's like impact, depending on what we're really after. Like, okay, we want to make more impact, then doing these things will happen. In turn, we're also going to make more money. Yes. So what we're actually talking about now, that I'm thinking about it, because what you're saying is good. It's not even like what we're saying now is a tool or like a recipe. What we're talking about now is when you sit down at the table and you gave them the brochure and you're like, what do you want to order today? Yeah, yeah. You're deciding what food you want to eat. So like, they're like, okay, I want to be known to kids as the go-to place, whether it's 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Like anytime that's for Domino's. Yeah. They're like, I want to be accessible to them, and I want them in their head to always just think Domino's quick. Like they need something quick or they need something big, Domino's. Right. So like that's like them deciding what they want to eat that day. Like that's what now you're cooking. Now you're like, okay, wait, they said they want to reach the kids. Maybe we should do this specifically. Exactly. Maybe we should put this person here. Exactly. Maybe we should go outside of just doing a graphic. Hey, have you even thought about putting ads up at the baseball game, at the school? I can create a banner for that and we can get that done. This is all stuff that if you go to someone on Fiverr, they're not thinking about that. They're only going to do the design. What you asked for. That's art. Yeah, it's just art. Now, yeah, that's not design now, that's art, but you won't design. Yeah. And that's why we said everything we said before. Yep. And that's what's funny, man, how God has transitioned me from just doing art or at an early age to then, design, and then really learning design and having a love for people and want to make an impact to then, moving into consulting with it. And it's like, man, this is all me. This is my purpose, man, and in God's will right here. Yeah. So just to throw that out, man. Well, you said something there that caught my attention. You said having a love for people. How important is that to you for you to complete your job? Man, that's a lot of it. If I don't have a love for people, then what am I even doing this for? You know what I'm saying? It could be money. Yeah, people say it's for money. But it's like, I had a meeting today with one of my clients before I got up here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whether or not there's a possibility we may have to pause on pay. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna work with you. something major happens that impacts them, that's understandable. I understand cash flow. I understand that. We can move that aside to adjust with the cash flow. Like I'm a love them in a certain ways. I'm gonna be patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If people understand that, that's Bible talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's good though, because
all
like
of that.
where we live now, you're like in Arkansas, right? We're in Arkansas. You're able to do that.
Yeah, man.
Because it's not very expensive to live here. Like if you were in Dallas,
it'd be hard.
bro, you'd be like, you got to go.
Give me my money.
You got to go. Like I got to pay rent. I got $2,500 to pay in rent, and that's just rent.
Wow.
You got to go. So it's like you got to have those conversations. But that's one of the things I like about since I moved back. Yeah, is being able to.
I guess we don't understand that there's a certain privilege about doing it that way. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't even see it that way.
Yeah. Because business is a lot different here, and to be really honest, I find that people, even like clients, right? They just care about you more.
Dude, yes.
I have clients check up on me. Like, you good?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying because you haven't texted me back about work. I'm just like,
relationship,
you
man.
good? Like, you're just checking in. And I'm like, man, that stuff don't happen a lot in the big city. I just came from Dallas. I'm like, this is different. This is different. And I grew up here, but I didn't grow up as a professional here as much. I grew up as a guy with a video camera type thing, can you do my senior photos?
Bro,
that type of vibe for free.
Yep, for free. They always want it for free.
So I'm like, eventually I had to tell them no, because I do gotta pay rent. But but yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about. You said all the different things you said you do have. Let's go back to that, because you were listing them out and you were saying, well, it's really a mix of all of them.
Yeah, I got some examples for you.
Yeah, go through them all for me.
Yeah, no, let's just say, for an example, a client came to me and they wanted some business cards. It's always worked like that, or a logo. But for this instance, it's a business card. I get their old business card and I'm like, they tell me about their business and I'm like, yeah, this not speaking to your target audience. This is like more of a sports team than a construction company. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we trying to do here? So the business card turned into rebranding. The rebranding, of course, was able to position them to get new business cards. And then, don't get me on the website. The website needed to be done as well. It was like, if all this is messed up, okay, we got a lot more work to do. So then once you do all the graphics, because, focus on that. I got that hat on. It's like, okay, you need some photos. I got you. For the, to put on, because they're using little selfies for their business cards. So we got to get the headshots for the business cards and to put on the other stuff, right? From the graphics to the website. Then, you start asking other little questions that hints at some signs about some other marketing things in business. It's like, hey, I'm just trying to be a little marketing consultant here, not a business consultant. But if you in the game, you learn that's like, these kind of touch each other too. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get a little advice there, like, okay, you need to put some SOPs in place there. Then we'll be able to do this marketing strategy and to make more sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And go more smoothly.
Yes.
So that's where that comes in. It's like, okay, speaking of cash flow, if you got a cash flow problem, okay, yeah, we definitely need to maybe increase some prices that make sense. Let's implement some steps. I'll walk them through all that. And then, okay, boom, we're not quite there. We only can increase so much right now for the month. Let's look at cutting some costs on some stuff. Where can we cut costs? Even if it's personal. You know what I'm saying? Are you buying too many waters and or can we buy this more in bulk?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the simple things, but people need guided. I think that's where consultants and stuff just come in to be that outside mind, to be able to think deeper on things. And that's just me, man. And then with all of that, I'm able to make the graphics in a particular way to reach people, whether or not we're working on some kind of compelling offer. I understand a compelling offer, so now I'll be able to make the graphics in such a way to be able to communicate that. I could do a little bit of content writing, but if it's something extremely complex or something which I haven't dealt with that, I guess I got it. I guess I'm being a little humble, but it's like I can write a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm able to even help with that to be able to, so they can position themselves a certain way. Does that make sense, man? That's kind of usually people come to me for one thing.
Yes.
But then they have to leave. They leave with something else.
Yeah, expands because you realize there's other holes. Like, for instance, like an ad is another good example. I run into this a lot. People come, hey, can we do an ad? Not nowadays, people don't come.
Well,
but before. People would come, hey, can we do an ad? Yeah, we can do an ad. Can you send me a link to your website? Oh, I don't have a website yet. Okay. Instagram? Oh, yeah, here's my Instagram. I ain't posted since 2013.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I can take your money, but I'm going to tell you right now, we got to fix these other elements first before you actually have an effective ad. That's how it works a lot of times. So now, all right, we got to spend the next 30 days getting just a splash page up for the website, right? We got to spend over the next 30 days. We also got to get some organic posts on the Instagram. Nothing crazy. iPhone just content, graphics, right? Just something like refreshing it. Oh, your headshots from before you had 3 kids. You look a little bit different now. Yeah. So like maybe we got to redo some headshots. We got to update that stuff. Not that you look bad. I'm not trying to say that. Yeah. Arkansas people. No. But I'm just saying. Yeah.
No, Arkansas. Shoot, somebody grandma just tell you, baby, you're fat or something. You know what I'm saying?
Your business catfishing me.
Yeah. No. So Arkansas folk, they chill.
Yeah. So it's like I understand, like you're saying, it's just a lot of different elements.
Yeah.
Question I have for you is, when did the light bulb in your head go off? Man, I think I'm creative. Like, when was that first creative thought you had?
Oh, just ever?
Ever. Like when you thought, I may be creative.
Man, just going back to the 3rd grade, man. That's just when I remember. It could have been earlier. That's just when I remember. You know, when I'm drawing something. Like I said, I had all the little motorcycles, the little Hot Wheel cars. And so I can draw. So I'm like, okay, I'm collecting these. We just draw them. And I would draw them, I guess, so well, I didn't even know how well it was, right?
Yes.
That people would be like, man, you didn't do that. I knew it was something, something there. And then, you fast forward to, the high school years where I'm able to be in the art classes and I'm winning all these awards. And it's like, I mean, I'm winning stuff. But am I good? This is only one part of the world. Okay, let me go to college, Arkansas Tech. I mean, I guess, I started as an electrical engineer major, and I had to switch to graphics, something art related, because that was just the love, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole story in itself. But I get there, man. Once I changed my major, now I'm winning more awards. You can look me up, and see just Deondra Swanigan and some with Arkansas Tech. Awards are gonna pop up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I'm that guy. I'm creative. So there's different little aspects in my life. And then with here locally, I don't know if we can be saying people's names out.
No, it's fine.
Place, yeah. Can't be giving them free stuff. But it was a place that prints tickets. They hired me about 3 months before I even graduated college, and it was like, man, this is the American dream. I am creative.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They moved me real fast to their creative spot once I learned their processes and stuff. So they had a little creative team. The guy next door I met, we was talking about, man. So that's where he's creative too. And it's like, boom. I knew at all these different stages. And then boom, I would just fast forward again, which I don't know if you wanted all this, but we got it. We're here right? For it. Again, when I started my business, I guess, like officially, right? Which was Swan Done was 2021 after I got let go from this printing place, right? Okay. COVID hit and everything changed. And that's a whole nother story too.
For a lot of people. Yeah. Whole nother story for a lot of people.
Whole nother one. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's what I knew. I knew at different stages, and I'm still knowing. You know what I'm saying? And man, we have to talk about how we even kind of, I guess, got connected.
Yes. Because
this is part of that story too of how I knew I was gifted.
Okay.
So I met, what you said, it was your mother-in-law.
Yes, Kim Humphrey.
So Kim Humphrey, yes, shout out. Man. So I had this art show downtown, or whatever.
Downtown Fort Smith?
Okay. Downtown Fort Smith. And
I don't know if we've said this already, but you're located in Conway.
I'm in Conway. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I need to make sure. That's why I'm like, when you say, oh, local, I'm like, well, local to you now or local? Okay, yeah.
But with that being said, I claim all of Arkansas, man.
Okay.
I feel like I've been all over.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was Arkansas Tech, graduated at Marion, Arkansas, just to give you where I was winning those awards. I don't know if that's documented and stuff, but that's there. But anyways, Kim, man, right? So Kim, I'm in Hobby Lobby because one of my little frames messed up or something like that. So I got to get it readjusted and, the tape on the back. So the picture didn't just fell out of the frame or whatever. So I'm in line. I'm just a country boy, man, and we're just talking, and she's kind of talkative too, just, warm and welcoming. So we're chatting up, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm just going to an art show some kind of way. And we're just talking. I give her my card, not thinking. I'm that guy, man. I'm in some weird spots. I talk to anybody. I don't care your age, color, whatever it is. Boom. Give her the card. Don't think nothing of it. Do my art show. And by the way, the art show didn't even go well, but that's a whole nother conversation, right?
Yeah.
It didn't go well, but what's really cool is giving that card to Miss Cam, because the opportunity came to be able to maybe be an inspiration or have the opportunity to work with some kids in this mock interview that she kind of throws. So I got to do that. And I was one of the ones that drove from far away. I was working night shift at this 9 to 5 or whatever, right? Drove all the way from working, got off at 8, came all the way to Fort Smith. You know what I'm saying? But man, that's just my heart, man. If I got time, I got time.
And so she connected us because she was like, I want to say the way she actually introduced you to me is like, oh, this is another guy who creates content. Because I think I went on your page, or she was like, I see him with a mic.
Oh, she probably didn't even know I had a mic then. Yeah, I started posting my podcast stuff probably, and I was on it hard.
Okay, I didn't want to say it was yours because I wasn't sure if you were sharing content. Okay, so I saw that too. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I clicked the link and I went over and I was like, oh, okay, he's doing his own content too. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yeah, man. Shoot. Design Detox with Deondra, man. Before that, though, I was trying to do a little something, and it was just Detox with Deondra.
Okay.
But a mentor of mine was like, you got to put something else on it to help, maybe niche it down a little bit. I was like, okay, I can still talk about some of the same topics, but okay, Design Detox with Deondra, the D's. And I have to say, man, even before that, Jesus and Juice Hub was a podcast I'm doing is a podcast I'm doing with my friend, Josh Childs. So I did the whole partnership thing.
Okay.
And I said, okay, man, I like working with podcasters. I got to have my own podcast. Right? And that's kind of how it came to be. I was trying to do it, like I said, on Instagram Live. Okay, fast forward, Design Detox with Deondra is like, okay, what do I want to do here? Of course, it goes right along with that, deeper than design, right?
Yes.
So I just want to bring people along to show that, like, behind the logo, behind the surface level stuff that we see, like who people are, what's running that company. Because a lot of the personalities and values that the owner has, is expressed in the business in most cases. Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, and that's just kind of how that happened, man. Likewise, like with you, man, I like to bring people along, not necessarily for myself. I don't promote anything. If they want to say, man, he helped me save $17,000 a month by implementing certain strategy, or you can just look at it for yourself. Some people just say stuff. And I'm like, I mean, thanks, but you didn't have to, give me the shout out because we talking about you here,
Yeah.
But,
okay.
But that's what it's for, is for them, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
A lot of people either I've worked with. Well, yeah, on this first season, it's mainly everybody that I've worked with in some kind of capacity.
Okay.
But I just wanted to give them a platform and just really start this thing with people that kind of help mold me in a sense.
Yeah.
Like good. All of my clients that I've had help mold me. And then, man, that last one was my pastor. Although I hadn't did any quote unquote business with him, I do the social media and stuff for my church. I do some photography for my church.
Yeah.
So on that side of things, I guess everybody
about that. Yeah.
So we got to talk a little more. He's he got so much knowledge. It's crazy. But for people, man, the stuff, I don't get a lot. You know, you don't get that traction, but the traction that you do get is like, man, we was able to help inspire that one.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what matters.
100%. That's the only reason why this podcast is still rolling. My mind is, so the way my mind is I get tired of stuff quick.
Ooh-wee.
I get tired of businesses. I get tired of, even if it's successful, it doesn't even matter. I just get tired of it quick.
Wow.
And so like, I mean, I think we on episode, like this one we're recording now is probably, I would guess like 35 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I got tired of 15.
What?
Yeah, I got tired of 15 just because I was like, okay, like, you know, I'm starting this with a purpose. The purpose was to help spread, you know, but then I got to meet all these people and it came with more opportunities. And now I'm like, those opportunities are now what I'm doing every single day full time. And then also, basically there's a lot of stuff that's come from it. It's all good. But now the only reason why I don't stop is because people are going in public and people are like, dude, I love the podcast. I listen to every episode.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to stop after that? You know, and people are asking to come on all the time.
Dang.
How do I stop? Like, I can't stop. So I will pause for a little bit and do like a mini season and switch it up. Mm-hmm. I want to talk to homeless people. So that's one that I want to do in Fort Smith.
Dude, that's great.
Wouldn't that be...
Dude,
like the idea of...
I had a thought like that.
Yeah.
They say if you had a thought, you better act on it because somebody else
Gonna take it. Oh, I got it.
You better get on it.
My idea is like, the question I want to answer is, I'm sure that at some point, if you're driven by, you know, a homeless person, excuse me if I'm saying homeless, I don't know, people get weird about the terminology. They want to use unhoused. I'm just going to say homeless. But if you drive by a homeless person, at some point you probably ask, man, I wonder how they got there. Exactly. I want to answer that question. You're talking to just a couple of people. Obviously, there's so many different problems that I can run into. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm setting it up just as nice as here. I'm not going to bring them in here. I would do it somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So security, then also being able to provide them some type of care pack after. So working with different local brands to say, here's something that I want to give to you. So it's a lot of different elements. That's why I haven't started it yet. I probably want to do them all in one day, just to get it over with. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'll pause and to switch onto. But how have you basically navigated all the way from third grade to now being able to continue to do the same creative things that you're doing without getting tired of them? And if you do get tired of them, mm-hmm. how do you cope with that? Like for me, I just switch it up a little bit. Like I just described.
Interesting. Man, what I tell myself and what I tell people is probably what they hear all the time, man. Remember that purpose. Remember your purpose.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get knocked off the track or knocked down, as they would say, but you get back up, mm-hmm. you get back to purpose.
What's your purpose?
Man, my purpose, man, you funny, you with it. I like it.
Your whole life. What's your purpose?
My whole life, man. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's just spread the good news, man. And ironically, with getting to know these businesses on a certain level that I get to know them, I'm able to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In the gift, mm-hmm. you know, they say, yeah, your gift will make room, you know what I'm saying? In all kind of different ways. And I think embedded in all of that is just spreading the good news, man.
I've never heard that actually. Your gift will make room. What does that mean?
Oh, man. You ain't never heard of it. You finna have me preaching and stuff on
Come on, I've never heard of it.
Oh, man. No, man, you got to look it up, man. Y'all look it up, whoever's listening, whenever this comes out. If it comes out, right?
Yeah. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. It's going to come out.
Man, no, your gift, you never heard of it, man. There's this passage in the Bible about your gift will make room for you, right?
Okay.
So you a Christian.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And you never heard. Which, hey, there's stuff I ain't heard of.
Your gift, I've literally, that I can think of. And I mean, I know, like, you don't have to, like.
No, I got you.
And people don't, like, spam him in the comments telling me, you know, stating it wrong. But I'm just, like, trying to figure out, like, what the gist of it means.
No, I got you, man. Like, and I think it's more of a like a purpose thing. You keep trusting in God and giving him the glory with what he's giving you. and it's just gonna make more room. Kind of like when we talked about cooking, the pot's gonna become bigger. The impact is gonna become bigger. If that makes sense.
Yes,
that's my little quick version. I can kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think.
So on purpose, I was thinking. You said you describe your purpose. When have you lost purpose?
Shoot.
Okay, like,
a lot of time.
Take me to a time when you lost purpose. And how did that affect what you were doing? And maybe even if you had clients at that point, how did that affect your relationship with your clients?
Ooh. That's good. That's a lot there, man. You got me. Man, I'll say this, man. When have I lost purpose?
I'll describe one while you're thinking of it.
Go ahead.
So I think it was last year. I've lost purpose a bunch of different times. So I guess the first thing I think of when I ask myself that question is this statement. Think about it like this. You've already gotten what you dreamed of. So imagine you sitting in a situation where you've already gotten what you dreamed of.
Yep.
Now what? So I had gotten to some situations like that, right? So I wanted money. I wanted a nice car. I had money at that time. Had a nice car at that time. Have a beautiful wife. Still have the beautiful wife, everybody. Gotta
get it right.
Gotta get it right. And now I'm like, what's my purpose? You know, I'm working. I'm not working in a church at this time. I'm working. I'm just out here doing creative things for different businesses, helping them make more money. And then in return, I'm getting a percent of that money and it's going back in my pocket. Everything should be fine, but I have no purpose. So then the way that it affects my business is, man, I go in the next day and I don't really care about what I'm doing for them as much. Yeah, these thoughts coming through my head of like, man, maybe we should specify on this target audience here about going here and doing this. I'm thinking that, but now I'm not saying it out loud because I don't care anymore. I really don't care that much. So to them, the client, over time, they'll notice like, oh man, maybe Joe's sharing less ideas with us now. Like maybe, like I feel like he's holding out on us. But day to day, you know, for a month or so, they're not really noticing anything. But internally, I'm like, I feel dead. Like, what am I doing? Dang. What is this all for? You know, I got to where I want to be, but I've lost my purpose. But it's because I forgot what my purpose actually was. Same thing you was talking about. It's to be one of the people who show what Jesus would look like if he ran a video business. That's right. If Jesus had a camera in his hand in 2024, man, that's what Joe's supposed to look like. That's it. And I was thinking it was about making money, right? You know, I said that question I had in my head. If you got everything that you dreamed of, now what? So I had dreamed of getting money. I had dreamed of getting a car. I wasn't dreaming of what does it look like for Joe to be like Jesus if he had a camera in his hand. So I got all those things. Now I'm empty. That's why, because my hole was too small. So I filled it myself. So I had to expand it a little bit. And I was like, okay, I remember my purpose now. We good. Yeah. We good. Yeah. Yeah. When you think of self, you're just always gonna get to that moment. But I think, when you was talking, man, I'm thinking purpose is focus. I thought of that, man. Purpose is focus. It gives you your focus, right? So yeah, man, there's been many a times, right? And I'll say, we'll use an example. I lost a client, right? Maybe the middle of this year, and it was like, dang, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like I just said, I'm supposed to do, I guess I'm centering myself. And it's crazy, that the mixture of when you're doing business and you got to do, and everything you do it as if you do it for, Christ Jesus. And it's like, I'm not doing that. I'm just, based on the strategies and that experience that I was telling you about with the formula is what I'm leaning on. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I think even when it says don't lean on man, I think, that's don't lean on self. I'm man too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's good. So it's, but man, it's like you said, I'm going through all these different little things in my head, kind of like what you were going through. But it's like, dude, get back on the track. And the only track to get on, to be in alignment is trusting in Christ. If I lose all of my clients, it's still going to be all right. I'm still going to the clients don't make
you know what I'm saying, the purpose.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Lord's going to bring those opportunities to be able to, you know, so I can act on it, to be able to do what I need to do in his name, in his will, right? Mm-hmm. So if I lose all of them today, he's going to bring some other people, paid or unpaid, that I'm supposed to impact.
Yes.
Right? For the glory of his name, right?
Yeah,
so that's where I'm at with that.
That's where your mindset.
Yeah, I think. But I've definitely, there's been a lot of things, whether it's losing clients or anything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Some of these, while you were talking, one of the things I thought about was so I've started this new Instagram highlight where I put like motivational things, and like my goal is like maybe every morning after I like read the Bible, maybe I'll go and to motivate myself if I need some extra motivation that day, scroll through my highlights where I put all these motivational things that align with my mission and my goals. One of them that I put on there last night, it was a guy talking about orange. He said he had an orange in his hand. Mm-hmm. He said, if you squeeze this orange, there will never be grapefruit that comes out. Grapefruit juice. There will never be lemon juice that comes out. You will never get dragon fruit juice coming out of this orange that I squeeze. You're going to get orange juice. Always orange juice. If you squeeze it, you're going to get orange juice. So he said, okay, so if you take myself and you put it in somebody's hands and you squeeze it, what's going to come out?
It's going to come out. That's it.
It's going to come bitterness, anger, right? So, and what does that actually mean? Someone gets mad at you. Your wife squeezes you. Your spouse squeezes you. Your boss, he's pissed at you. He's squeezing you. You feel that pressure. Society, the election, all the stuff happening in Florida with the hurricanes, all that stuff is squeezing you. Anger comes out, right? Bitterness, the worst can come out. Is that what's coming out? Well, if so, that means that's what's inside of you. Because a lot of us like to say, well, we would have never done that if that person had talked to me that way. I would have never acted that way if that person wasn't president. I would have never acted this way if people would have helped me after my house got flooded. And it's like, well, not necessarily, because when you get squeezed, whatever is inside of you is going to come out. Yeah, and you can place good things in there. So if you can place a healthy mindset that says, you know what, we're going to keep moving and we're going to figure it out day to day.
That's it.
You're only going to get good coming out of you, right? Only good, healthy thoughts, not doubtful thoughts. And I think about that as in like, man, how much further in life would I be? Because I know times when I have not done that. Even with clients, I know times when my clients piss me off. Man. And I shut them out. I'm like, we're done. Tell them off, right? Write them off. Keep going. And it's like in an unhealthy way. There's a healthy way to do that.
Yep.
But I'm like, man, what would it look like if I would have done that right? You know, and that's just one area. That's just
I'm with you. I hear you.
There's multiple different other situations too. Whether it's like a bad experience with a police officer, and I get upset. You know, I mean, not that I'm like acting out of place. I ain't in jail, like, you know, but I just get upset.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And they can sense that tension. Yeah. What if I would have treated them with kindness? You know, even though they're treating me with not kindness in that situation. So just different elements like that is what I think about. Can you let people know, before I forget while I'm thinking about it, all the different places where they can find your podcast, where they can find your Instagram account, if you have a YouTube, all that stuff.
Yeah, man. So swandone.com, swandoneconsulting.com. You got to separate it a little bit, but we can, any one of them contact me. Instagram, just Swan Done. Facebook, Swan Done. Yeah, don't look me up on Facebook personally, but, you know, what else? I'm missing something. Podcast. Definitely, we'll just throw Jesus and Juice Hub out there with that pod. Design Detox with Deondra. Both of them are on, you got YouTube, you got your Spotify and Apple Music. Just keep it simple. Got it on those. And that's it, man. Dope. So while we're at it,
Yeah, okay. Last thing, I just want to open up the floor. If there's anything that we did mention that you do have that you're thinking about, man, I didn't say that. Is there anything like that?
Man, I could have talked about a lot, man, but...
You feel like we got it all?
I don't know, man. Unless you got some extreme question to maybe ask me where we can get something else out.
Yeah, I do actually have a really good question. I was going to ask you about who you voting for this year. I'm joking.
Man, that's a good one.
I'm going to cut it there. I appreciate it, bro.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for coming on.
I appreciate it.